Welcome back to you for another yummy update, my friends. We are all waiting for the alt season to arrive. Yes, that elusive alt season. But, I mean, we don't get an alt season, friends. An alt season is just a reflection of how many green monthly candles you get on the others BTC. Others being everything outside of the top 10, and then Bitcoin just being Bitcoin, okay? This is the market cap ratio. It's just a ratio of them. See how we've had 5 red in a row? This is like an extreme bear market. This is what we have. It's sad. It's poopy. There's nothing we can do about it. But that's pretty much it. So the times we're looking for is when we have, say, when you've had 3 green in a row. This was actually DeFi season. You've had 3 green in a row, and then you're looking for the next 2 or 3 to be green. That's actually the big explosion. This is also the alt season wave 1 of last bull market. You had 3 green in a row. Then you have 2 more for an explosion. Actually, it didn't feel like an explosion at the time. That's the sad part. It was so underwhelming. That's the thing, friends. Like, you have to look at this because you got to remove the US dollar in your bank account. You got to remove that value. It means nothing. What matters is this. If there's 5 green in a row, okay, you don't know if that means your portfolio is up 2x or 20x. It doesn't have to be a specific number. Okay, and the market doesn't really care. But if you've had that many green in a row, okay, it really does mean you got to watch out. So actually, the alt season wave 2, this is like a little complacency poop run out here. But let's hope that we don't really need to rely on it. But most likely we might have to, because it just feels like it's a believer's cycle. Okay, what I mean by relying on that, maybe your targets haven't been hitting that first one. And it gives everyone a lot of stress to think about it. And, you might say something, what if we don't actually get 5 or 6 green in a row? Look, well, here's the thing, man. The thing about that means if you get 3 and then red, you've reset. Okay? Because this is actually what happens, friends. When you start getting 4, 5, 6 green monthly candles in a row, you attract the weakest of the weakest of the weak hands. People who come in for the fast money. And when everybody comes in for fast money, they're all basically hitting the offers and they're making things accelerate way above fair value. And it takes a long time, or sometimes years, to rinse out. Okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to show you this very basic Altseason indicator. This is a very, very crude measurement. You don't really have to use this, but you just notice how we're in Bitcoin season and we should go up in alt season. It doesn't feel like it's alt season. That number, they get the top 100 coins. If Bitcoin's up 1% and then your altcoin is up 1.1%, a tiny amount, or 2%, it says, oh, you're beating altcoin, you're beating Bitcoin, it's an alt season. So that's the painful thing when it comes to this index. But at least it's a nice oscillator metric. You can see that it's been Bitcoin season. Look at LFG now. We have been waiting for alt season to arrive. Real. Yes, everyone's waiting for these. What else can we do, man? It's making us wait a very, very, very long time. Don't forget, friends, cover this in juicy news, man. Davey Soy Hoffman, no longer an Ethereum maxi. Remember this tweet. I believe in the Ethereum project. I found the renewed interest in supporting it. I'm an Ethereum realist. Okay, so this type of capitulation, oh man, I can't believe I just believed in one thing so much. This is like one of those humbling stuff out here, but it's going to happen to everyone, dude. You think there's institutions right now that aren't going to suffer for being Bitcoin maxis? Of course it's going to happen. Friends, of course it's going to happen, man. You get absolutely crushed, man. It's hyper competitive out here. And how does it crush them? You'll see. It's not necessarily just a USD price. It's a ratio price. All right, could be Bitcoin dominance going down. There's a lot of things that can pretty much happen over time when you look at the possibilities and stuff out here. I'll show you the Bitcoin dominance chart, which is right here, friends. Obviously, just screaming through the highs, but when it's finally time to come down, all right, there's no levels here. That's what I'm telling you. There's no levels here, friends. This is what some of these weird charts they do. They pile on so many weak hands. They just can't possibly imagine that this thing can literally just go seers all the way down really, really, really fast. And be 3 months, come all the way down here. I also have a fear that we're going to buy Bitcoin back too early with all your altcoin portion. I have a fear that's why I've got to really, really, really be careful, because I can see it, man. You don't want to be on that first leg. You do not want to be in that first. It's going to have a nice bounce, by the way, but people are going to get complacent on that bounce. It's going to be a dead cat. I can feel it's going to be a dead cat where it just comes back down here. Everyone's like, okay, it's over. Time to get into Bitcoin, and just something happens for alt season wave number 2. Because look, just all these people in Bitcoin and everything out here, man, they're all full of crap, dude. You're here for number go up. Yeah, what happens when your number stops going up as much? Do you feel so safe when you drop with everything else? I'm telling you that there will be a period of time, and yeah, maybe they don't go rotate into altcoins, but they will say, oh, wait, we're down just as much as the NASDAQ, or we're down just as much as gold. Like there's a FUD narrative for anything, man. They get FUDded out of everything. I know, and know it happens. You know what happens, okay? This is part of the market cycles. The US Fed, friends, they removed their strict crypto guidance. It's crime season. So look at this. They removed their guidance for banks related to crypto asset and dollar activities. So they had like these rules, like, you can't touch crypto if you're a bank. They're really Operation Choke Point, trying to kill everyone out here, and they've removed it now. So they might actually be implementing crypto into people's accounts in the future. Wow, what a top signal that would be. Like, imagine that. We run so far that like JP Mosquito, they allow crypto people, crypto access from retailer accounts. But there have to be some sort of like really strict moving around and things out here. But at least the conduit is there. That's what you want. You just want people to be open to it, and that's exactly what you want. Got a bit of pDAI news here for you, friends, as well. So Richard Hart, he made this tweet. Who's the real final boss? Interesting. Because I was tweeting that I was guessing Mr. 99 Capital would be the final boss. And he would be the one at the very, very end. He would say, oh, we can't actually peg. And it would be the final FUD wave at the end. Maybe, hopefully, pDAI like 10 or 20 cents or whatever. And then he's the final FUD wave and it comes down. That's what I was guessing. But then shortly after Richard Hart does the FUD tweet, he talks about the final boss. No one's talking about the final boss. I kept talking about final boss. I started that term. I was talking about Mr. 99's the final boss. So I know where the term came from. I started it. Yeah? Almost like there's these FUD bosses along the way. Okay? And then interesting, Richard starts to talk about it. And look, interesting, this is before the Caddy Maria FUD thing. Before they dumped all the pDAI. He says, who's the real final boss? If you look at liquidity, it looks like someone can mint a tropa out of thin air. I know nothing about it. They can harvest 2 billion liquidity out of the liquidity in the PulseX. So he basically told us what was going to happen in the future. They did do that. They did harvest, or a tropa was the final boss here. Caddy comes in, takes over MakerDAO, dumps the pDAI, puts it in a tropa. But it was actually referencing something different. That was, I think, from the MakerDAO thing. This is just, it's just interesting, like the words and the context and the story. Who's the real final boss here, right? It's almost what it means is who's could be in control with a lot of pDAI. And also look at this message on chain. This is the final boss. Maybe next time you will actually think. Maybe next time you will listen. Maybe next time you will be accepting. Maybe, just maybe. Take a look in the mirror. Ask yourselves. No one wants a thirsty, nasty hoe asking. Have some self-respect. So this is the final boss. Interesting choice of terminology there. I wonder what it all means, though. Hopefully we do get some more pricey pumps to come along the way, friends. This is the pDAI. Oh, wow, the green, slightly green on the weekly. It doesn't really matter, though. We need, like I said, friends, we need May to play through. Remember, I've also told you, with all these coins, it's nice. What you do is you look at how long the capitulation usually goes for. It's up to 65 days. So 65 days to recover the FUD, for maybe recover back up to here. That would bring it around 22nd of May. So I'm hoping by 22nd of May, this thing is back up to like half a cent, which would bring it around back to, it's about 5.5x from today because it's so oversold. So this is something you look at. You can get an idea of these capitulations. It's nice. It kind of just shows you like each story's, they're separate on the chart, but it's like, oh, it's just another FUD, one of those FUD things that appears. Something cool to think about. Found this really, really funny, friends. Check this out. If you're holding gold, friends. Okay, this is so funny. Good news for the gold holders. After 533 years, you're almost break even. Not making this up. Gold, if you bought gold at the Pico top in 1492, it would have taken you 533 years for you to break even in 2025. My gosh. That's wild. I just realized this chart is in $2008. I just ran the numbers. 1492 gold bros are still underwater. Oh my gosh, that's wild. But here's the thing. I've got that full chart here. That's wild, man. Look at this. It actually did head up to all the way down. My gosh, man. This is from 1450. And now it's coming back up. Obviously, friends, gold, though. Gold is not meant to make you rich. Right? It's meant to keep your wealth. So no government can ever debase you no matter what. It's like long-term permanent dynasty wealth. You have your wealth in gold. So that's what it's there for. That's why hopefully Bitcoin replaces it, so all our bags can pump. It's kind of funny as well. Look what happens here. The French Revolution, Napoleon Wars. You have the Depression and stuff out here. Man, that's crazy. That's wild to think about all of these. So gold is very, very, very underpriced, friends. When I've shown you yesterday, the gold to S&P 500 ratio. Man, gold is like 5x undervalued. But, big but. So you say, oh, Sammy, gold's going to 15,000. Yeah, but I looked at the chart. It's going to take 15 years. Because the chart's a 3-month chart. And it looks like it's curling up. And it will curl up. But it's just 15 years, bro. And I was like, man, it's so... Man, like it would be over by that point, friends. We're talking about the year 2040. Oh, gosh. But hey, yeah. But remember, it's gold versus S&P 500. So that's the thing. Like, let's say you had children. And let's say you're like, oh, I'm scared about crypto's future. So maybe you don't put all of their savings into crypto. You put it in the stock market. I would be heavily stacking gold. They can't touch it for 15 years. From this point, gold's going to outperform the S&P 500 in 15 years from now. So you can't touch it for 15 years. Yeah, so that's big. But you probably do a portion of that. But like you're not excited by this. But hey, in 15 years, it's going to be better than the stock market. Dude, what is crypto going to be doing in 15 years? It's going to be wild to see. So, friends, what do we do from now? All we can do is wait and pray. We make it through April, right? Stock market jitters, Donald Trump, yes or no, tariff man, pumping through May, and then I guess we'll see what happens. May, June, July, if they do some stealth money printer. Remember, a lot of people think it's over for Bitcoin at 120, 130K, so I guess we'll find out. Like, subscribe, bell button, or catch you soon.